Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Friday, January 6, 2012, and I'm Darko. This is the final news bulletin for today. This is going to be an interesting video. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff, and to me it's kind of like going to war, because there's a lot of stuff in here and it may offend some people, and I'm sorry for that, but I put the time in, and I got a lot of different stuff to cover, and I'm just going to get to it. So all right, police, this is what I wanted to cover in the last video, just to put it out there, but this was supposed to be in the last video. Police kill armed 8th grader at Texas school, and it was later found out that he actually had a pellet gun, but it doesn't really matter because the police will investigate themselves, and the school, the education, re-education camps, and the police go hand in hand, actually, especially in communism. So I doubt anything's going to happen. The police is going to, they're basically just going to say, well, I thought he had a real gun, and the school's going to agree with them, and the courts are going to agree with them, and it'll be, over and done in a day. Return library books or else. Borrowers are arrested for failing to return overdue books. That's right, handcuffed and in the back of a police cruiser. Aaron Henton racked his brain trying to figure out how a simple speeding violation had led to his arrest. He said, I was just shocked. I was like, what? I got a what now? Said the police officer said that Hansen never returned the DVD checked out at the Littleton Library, and there was a warrant out for his arrest. Well, look at this. Texas woman. These stories are from both from last year. Texas woman arrested for overdue library books. Don't mess with Texas Public Library. And it said here, charges related to library books due to be returned 7 years ago. Said Few was arrested after failing to appear in court to address the case of a missing library property, which she claims was destroyed in a fire at her house. Next up, Charlton Library sends police to collect overdue books from a 5-year-old, so now they just scale the age downwards. And this is from January 2nd, 2012. A Charlton mom says her local library crossed the line when they sent police to collect her daughter's overdue library book, and they stopped by. You're lucky they didn't get SWAT teamed, but they stopped by doing their policing by the home to let them know that her daughter had 2 books several months overdue, which needed to be returned or paid. So many people ask, well, why did they do this? Well, why would a police officer do this? Well, I'll let you know right here. Said nobody wanted to do this on this end to get involved in it, Sergeant Dowd said, but the library contacted us and the chief delegated, and apparently I was the one, the low man on the totem pole, so kind of like the Nazis. Well, I was just taking orders. And also the library is like a re-education camp with the police and the fire department. They're all one, one unit that doesn't really ask questions. They just follow orders. Christopher Ansbach serves 10 days in Iowa County Jail for overdue library books. Crime and punishment just jumped to the top of Christopher's reading list. Iowa court sentenced him for 10 days in the county jail for failing to return his overdue library book, according to the Smoking Gun. And he's 28 years old. Borrowed 27 book. So they owe $770. Decided to take the case to the next level. So some people would say, well, you got to pay that back. Well, it's a double standard, guys. I mean, if you're going to let banks steal $13 trillion within 2 years and not know where it even went to, or can't even say where it went to, and just wealth of an entire class was siphoned off in a short period of time, and nobody's accountable, no politicians are going to be hung, no politicians are going to be ousted or anything, or accountable, or the CEOs aren't going to be accountable, then that's a double standard, right? That's the way I see it. So, if you're going to want to play a little, he should pay it game, well, then you should look at the douchebags that are bringing our country down, right? Our country, as if it's our country. It's our corporation that we're slaves to. We're associates. UK school replaces library cards for kids with fingerprint scans. And that's good, though, right? I mean, that's an older story, but I wanted to include it in here because why? Because now they have their biometric thumb scan, and they can match it with their face and then their walk, and then from a satellite they could have like space platform satellites just shoot like some kind of freaking lasers at kids because they have an overdue book. In-car internet to become norm in survey about the future. So it's a big trend now. Yeah, Wi-Fi will become the norm. Talking about internet access in cars. And it goes on here and it says car manufacturers will also join forces with music, telecoms, and IT companies. Oh, and I found this interesting. Just like YouTube, the way the design is going with, they're trying to compete, YouTube is trying to compete with television, is they're not really making it easy for people out there that are actually providing information. They're going to empower people. No, they want infotainment and programming, brainwashing stuff. And it says here more than a third, 37% of the 200 car executives believe infotainment in cars is nearly as important as car safety. So they're going to ban text messaging, so you can't notify your fellow slave of a checkpoint or use a cell phone and talk. But they're going to allow you to have infotainment in the car, and I'm sure that's going to help with accidents. And talking about the state getting desperate for revenue, you have Arkansas residents may face taxation by drones aerial imaging. And of course, the establishment's controlled opposition, the ACLU, has privacy concerns, which don't mean a dang thing. U.S. non-lethal weapon wish list revealed on the net. An alleged U.S. military wish list of real and conceptual non-lethal weapons has been published online. That's right, they don't want to kill you, they just want to pacify you. I've mentioned this before. The list includes lasers and heat beams designed to disperse crowds and nausea-inducing sound waves targeted at scuba divers. So, these some of these non-lethal weapons like pepper spray, someone actually died from it. Tasers, somebody died from it. The LRAD sound cannon, somebody went deaf from it. Then they have something where they can actually cause you to go temporarily blind, which means that it's going to permanently blind you. And then they can actually cook your organs from these types of technologies. But the key is not to kill you. See, that would be too much. That wouldn't be fun. It's more fun if they can keep you alive and torture you for the rest of your life, like watching chemtrails over your head daily and not being able to do anything about it. And when you take pictures of it, you think someone would ask you, why are you taking pictures? No, they just stare at you because why? Ooh, you could be a terrorist. That's right. Because on the Department of Homeland Security, on their little watch list, see something, say something. If you see someone taking pictures of things that are not normal, i.e. taking pictures of chemtrails, you could be a terrorist. So, I'm surprised I didn't get reported for that. 2 GRAIL probes sent by NASA reached their destination orbit around the moon. So this is interesting, right? Because we all know about the Knights Templar, we know about the Illuminati, and we know about the Holy Grail. And so it's interesting that they call it the Holy Grail, and they would be covering the dark side of the moon. Well, what's on the other side of the moon? Well, it's black. They don't know. Well, they know. And there's some people that think that the moon is like a mobile base station that's been drug here billions of years ago. There's some people that think it's hollow. And there's some people that think that there are entities in there that actually are partly responsible for a lot of the mind control that goes on while you're sleeping. So I mentioned in the first video about how Obama was alluding to the possible alien invasion or having to set up space weapons for an outside threat. And he could have been talking about cyberspace, but either way, former astronaut to lead Starship effort. So it goes on here and it says DARPA and NASA are sponsoring the project known as 100-year Starship, like the Starship Troopers. So in this world of forced diversity, we had the first whatever go up into space, and with this first president and the first prime minister, the first African-American woman will go into space, was notified last week that she had won, according to a copy of the DARPA letter obtained by the BBC. So, the plane built to soar above the clouds on Saturn's mysterious moon Titan, plutonium-powered craft, weighs just 120 grams. And they say it looks just like a cute little drone. Isn't it so cute? So we have here Chimera monkeys created in lab by combining several embryos into one. So the monkey chimeras each contain cells originating in different embryos with distinct genomes. So maybe they'll be going up to the Starship. Who knows? Next up, welcome to a brave new world. Genetic scientists create the freakish man-made monster ants with huge head and jaws. Ancient genes activated by a dab of hormones and seem to contain a toolkit for creating monsters. And it's a throwback to ancestors from millions of years ago, kind of like Jurassic Park. So just like the Starship Super Troopers, we have super soldier ants with huge heads and jaws. And maybe they'll shoot them up to space. Then we have what? Scientists grow sperm in laboratory dish. Scientists have made a major breakthrough that could soon see human sperm grown in the laboratory. So eugenicists are very happy with this success. Robots patrol South Korean prison at night. I've covered this before, but it's back in the news. That's right. Robots patrolling South Korean prisons at night. So maybe they'll send just robots out to space to colonize. I mean, that's what Dr. Cuckoo said, right? After they get rid of all those pesky terrorists, those traditionalists off the planet, then they can start searching, become a different type of extraterrestrial, as he puts it. But no, the real thing is that you're going to be left behind, and the elites are going to become these gods, and they're going to become these cyborgs. And it says here, AI will change our relationship with technology. So it goes on here, and it says Canadian movie director James Cameron imagined a world, yeah, it was just him that imagined it, right, in which computers achieve self-awareness and were set about systematically destroying humankind. And I always thought, I don't think that's going to happen with just the machines by themselves, but it could be the elites actually putting themselves into these machines, like I said, becoming gods, and then killing all the rest of us. Europe's biggest Wi-Fi free zone set for London. Oh, it's a Wi-Fi free zone. No, it's Europe's biggest free Wi-Fi zone set for London. So get ready for that ELF smog and getting a nice dose of radiation for free. Radiation, doctor says TSA naked body scanners can cause cancer. But don't worry, they'll have a paid doctor to come on there, researcher, and combat or basically refutate that claim. Apple's Jonathan Ive gets knighthood in honors list, the Knight Commander of the British Empire. And it's another person whose intelligence and drive has been used for the dark side. Again, I may offend somebody here, but you know, there's certain people that do get knighted that I think kind of spread the elite's ideology. You have Elton John, you know, doing his thing, and then you have people like Paul McCarthy. Well, let's see, John Lennon was killed. Now, you can say whatever you want to say, but he was killed. He was murdered by them, and Paul McCarthy became knighted. So you can figure it out on your own. That's just my own opinion. Man faces federal charge in abortion clinic fire. So arrested in charge, a 41-year-old man Thursday in connection with a New Year's Day fire that heavily damaged a Pensacola baby-killing clinic that has been targeted for violence several times over more than 25 years. Talking about abortion clinics, then we have Planned Parenthood's annual report got $487 million in tax money and did 445,000 abortions. So that individual gets arrested for trying to stop a facility from killing babies. Let's see here now. Hospital aborts wrong twin in horrible mistake. Well, it's oops, a mistake. Sorry. Doctors aborted the wrong fetus. And, because they had a genetic defect. Now, that's the thing, guys, to look at, because it had a genetic defect, and they went for the healthier one. So it's all about eugenics. But you think he'll be accountable? He might get sued. I don't know. But either way, it says here, child killer found living with women and children under false name. Man beat a 6-year-old to death with a hammer. So, yeah. Is he dead? No, because there is no real justice. We have Pip, breast implant boss, dismissed women's concerns. So again, like any other CEO, are they responsible? No. I know most of my viewers, or the viewers of GGN, are aware of the justice system and who it really protects. But if you're not aware, just think twice about going to the police for anything. Either don't go to them or handle it yourself if you can. Could Ben now be hit by implant scare? Faulty gel may have been used in male surgery. That's right, because males now are under that programming as well. And they have a lot of stress. A lot of guys actually really stressed out about it, more than girls, about their looks and all that. Busted. The bank worker facing 15 years behind bars after robbing her own branch to pay for a boob job. Maryland abortion doctors charged with murder. So sometimes it does work, huh? The justice system. Says here, California public school kids now required to study contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual Americans. And that's why they want to get children into school as young as possible so they can teach them that. China's vice president orders more thought control, mind control over the students so they can teach them stuff like that. And because of Russia and China, they promote atheism. Look at what happened to Mongolia in just a short time. Buddhism, 53%, atheism, 38%. Another example of the justice system, contemporary nativity installation that displayed celebrating lesbian, gay, heterosexual couples as a hate crime. So see, it's a hate crime. Yeah, but they'll allow this in beauty pageant, mom giving basically speed and a drink to her daughter. And then telling her to work it, Smoochie. That's it, baby. And GSK lab fined over vaccine test that killed 14 babies.